2. Hello. We are back with Crow Inquisitors.
Hello.
And
Good boy.
Adam
lost Adam.
just died.
What died?
Adam died.
Adam. Well, I guess we're going to start with Ulrich.
Oh no!
Adam, we missed this. What happened?
So I guess we're going to go to Ulrich first.
Yeah, so let's go to Ulrich
Okay.
first. So yeah, Josh, did you have a scene in mind? Oh, there he's back. Before Ayrees comes back.
My phone died, so I can't use it anymore.
Oh, okay.
Right. Did you catch what I was saying, or did it go
I
out in
heard
the
you
middle of
say you built the wall, and that was the last thing I heard.
that? Okay, basically, yeah, that was the last thing I said. So
Oh, okay, I see.
the idea was that they would live in the wall, basically, because now they have a positive influence in the region. And
I want to see if I can get my weapon back.
yeah, he'd probably give it back to you at this point if you asked. But I think because you've been like sort of
It's been 2 months,
disassociated
so.
with them, yeah, I mean, you probably have it back. I also want to make
Yeah,
a
we
thing
can
of
just
that.
say that you have it back, Theo.
Okay, sweet.
All right, so yeah, Theo or Ulrich, anyone have any scenes they want to do? Right away? Anything you want to like progress towards?
Not much, but I did want to just go say hi to Cantarius. You know, I haven't seen him, or I haven't been really around him. Like, hey, what's up? How's everything going? You know, and then I also wanted to pray. I wanted to pray. I want to pray for Ayrees. You know.
So do we have that scene of us talking, or are you just saying that you just come and say hey?
That's what I do after I pray.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're gonna pray first.
He could probably give you your weapon then too, because if you weren't with the Crow Inquisitors, you probably didn't get your weapon back.
Yeah,
And he probably has it. So
I just wanted like this scene to open up me praying again, because I still like, she told me I was gonna like find my own purpose.
Yeah.
The goddess. So
Yeah.
I haven't really found that
So
yet.
what
Like,
if we do this? What if we start with Theo? You're praying, and then we have you go meet Cantarius and like catch up a little bit and get your trident back. And then during that conversation, Ulrich comes because you had belief about like sizing up Cantarius and like him as the leader of the Crow Inquisitors.
Okay.
Does that sound good, Josh?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Sorry, I realized I had a missed message on my phone.
No, it's fine. So yeah, Theo, what
really like affects us.
what is that prayer looking like? What do you?
First, I wanted to pray for like I don't know how this works in like I don't know how a pagan god works when you pray. Like in real life, I'd like pray for Ayrees that he'd like find wisdom and be like, yeah, like that he can, that like basically that he'll come back to being good, or at least like change his ways. I feel like he's kind of fading away again, like he was before. Yeah. And that like if it came time, he'd do the wrong thing, like kill somebody who was innocent or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like the time that I didn't do that.
Yeah.
We were all making fun of me for it at the beginning of the session.
Well,
Or I guess not the beginning of the session.
oh yeah.
Like
He wasn't innocent. He was the definition of guilty.
I'm saying like an innocent
Right.
guy, and then all of a sudden like Ayrees just kills him. I'm like I'm disappointed. I don't want to have to be disappointed in him.
So, do you want to pray directly to like for Ayrees that he would like he would gain like vision, like to guide him, that he would like come towards the light, or do you want to pray for you to like have for Eshte show you what to do to help Ayrees do that?
Yeah, the second one.
Sure. So that's up 4 for you. Wait, do you still have Believer?
I don't know. I had it, and then I thought I took it away, and then I thought
I know
maybe
you
I'd
had it.
back.
Yeah, I'm curious if that went away, because if that's the case, then this is an increased job. But let's look. Yeah, you do not have it anymore. Yep, which makes sense. So
Dang it.
So it's an up 5 faith test.
Wow.
Good luck. I think it's open-ended.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow, this is. I'm probably gonna fail. Like every time I try to fail for like, hey, tell me what I need to do, she doesn't tell me. I fail every time. So I'm just kind of like more confused. Like, oh man.
So you can. Let me look at this real quick. So you can. Faithful characters may help other faithful characters using the standard helping rules. So basically, you could talk to some of the other priestesses in the temple and ask them to help you pray for this. And they could give you helping.
Yeah, sure. Like help them tell me what I need to do, because I'm kind of looking for like my purpose and try to figure out how I can help Ayrees too.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, he's like.
Yeah, so let's have you make a circles roll.
Okay.
To find a group of priestesses that will help you pray for Ayrees. I think because you have a direct life path for that. Let's make it an ob. Can I get ob 2?
For circles?
Yeah, ob 2 circles test.
Oh, I got it.
There you go. Wow, all successes. Good job. So yeah, you can mark that routine test, and you circles up a bunch of the priestesses that you've basically made friends with while you're here. So give us an idea, right, of like the kind of people that like you've made friends with and like made relationships with while you're here in the temple.
Dang it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I mean you would have gotten a few more modifiers.
We almost got it anyways.
But I've gotten more.
Go ahead and roll 3 more dice. Just slash
Already
roll
that.
space 3d6.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. That's all you need.
Nice.
So what does this look like, Theo? Like, are you all in like this prayer room? What's
Yeah, I'd say it's like in a room and we got around and like I don't know how it works in like a pagan
Yeah, I mean, I think
like,
we've
place
established
hands on
that
people.
there's like prayer cushions. It's kind of like vaguely Islamic in that way. There's like prayer cushions and like incense that you burn when you pray. And there's like a
Yeah,
shrine.
I guess I probably talked to like
One there on your side.
what's her name again? The big priestess.
Big honcho, Mita.
Mina, yeah, like just kind of like, hey, like I'm really struggling. I need some help to see, and pray for someone who.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
and so
I
she
need
helps
help.
you.
Like,
she
so
gives
she
you
kind of
some
like,
accolades and stuff.
yeah, like definitely, like so it's not just like I took a bunch of people and they're like, what are you doing with all these people?
For sure. Yeah, she gathers up the other like faithful people in the temple because they're all not faithful, but there are a few. And so yeah,
Is this the guy that's fresh day?
this is fresh day. Yeah. So your intent is to give you guidance to be able to help Ayrees.
Yeah. Was that a difficult test?
It should say. Oh well, you had 3 more dice, so no, it would have been routine at that point.
Oh dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dead. Get out. Out.
But
Out.
you don't need any more routine tests, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm dead. Leave.
That's good to
Right.
know.
So I think you get back, right? You the kind of vision you get back from Fresh Tay is you feel that the best way to help Ayrees. The best way to help Ayrees at this point, and so this is the thing, you don't know a whole lot about what Ayrees has been doing or what his emotional state has been, but what you get from Fresh
All
Tay,
I know is just like he left in kind of like we left on bad terms.
yeah, and
that's
so
why I was
it might be a little jarring to get this, but Fresh Day tells you the best way to help Ayrees now is to put him down.
I think that kind of like
not necessarily kill him, not necessarily to kill him,
put him down.
but right, like take him out of this position that he's in, like I don't know, like and it's kind of vague in that sense, right? Like he needs to not be in the position that he's in right now. He needs to not be involved in what's happening to him right now. He needs to take a step away from it all. You need to convince him to do that, or just beat him up and like take him away from this, right? Like
I think I'm also kind of struggling, like, because I kind of want to go find my father, but I'll just kind of like ditch everyone. So I don't know, like, I think I kind of want to talk to Cantarius about that, and if he like
absolutely.
wants me to stay, I guess I'll have to be convinced to stay. Kind of like I need to find my own path, Dad. I need to find, that kind of thing.
so okay, yeah. So you can go talk to Cantarius then. That's probably a good good option.
Is this real time?
Yeah.
I guess we probably just cut from there to Theo walking in to wherever Cantarius is. Where's Cantarius?
Walking to the basement. Going to go talk to the demon. Remember?
Oh, you're just going there now?
Of course.
Okay, so let's say
I can't find
Theo,
him.
you find him basically just he's in Siegfried's room. Right? You come in basically right after that conversation they just had. So you've asked around. You know that Cantarius is in Caspian's palace, and you go find him, and so like he walks in.
Did you guys establish that they didn't know where the demon was?
Peter pushed mid.
Yes, exactly. That's why I'm saying they're right now. They're in.
I met
still in
Siegfried, right? I know
Yeah, you
who
met
he
Siegfried.
is.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah, okay.
If you can act over there.
Yeah, so you just hear a knock on the door, guys. Cantarius and Siegfried.
It's good to know an old man gets so many visitors.
Who's there?
Cantarius? You mind if I have a word with you?
Alright, we're good.
I look back and forth between you two. Theo, now is a very bad time.
Well, I'm afraid this is the only time for me.
Are you hurt?
Smacked.
Maybe not physically, but torn emotionally.
You've been scorned by a woman then.
We've all been there, lad.
A whole temple full of women, and you've been scorned by all of them?
I guess he kind of like giggles to himself and he's like, unfortunately, it's a lot more serious matters than that.
Then I apologize, and I step out of the room.
Antonius, I'm not sure how much I'm needed here anymore. I've learned some upsetting news. Or I guess not upsetting news, but more like, I guess, shocking news.
Is that Peter?
My father's still alive.
Your father?
Yes. How long has it been, Caleb? Since I've seen him, probably like 20 years, right?
Yeah, a long time. Yeah.
I haven't seen him since I was young, since before all this. I have to go find him, Cantarius.
Theo, I understand. And I think you should do whatever you need to in order to do what's right by the ones you love.
Yes.
But I need you to understand something. I do need you here. You said that you feel as if you're not needed here anymore. That is not true. If there's any time I needed my friends now, if there was ever a time I needed my friends, it would be now.
I guess he kind of, he looks down. He's like, let me think about it.
So you were
Please
saying
do.
you were gonna go find your father?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say that, like, I was gonna say what he thought, and if he said, then like just go, like, oh yeah, whatever. Like if he did, like I felt like
Right.
I wasn't needed,
So,
then I was just gonna go
just
find
as a-
Ayrees.
Just in case you don't know, like your father's like many miles away. Like that would be a very...
Yeah, I know. Like I meant, like I was gonna go on a journey to
Okay.
find him.
All right, and just yeah.
But like I was kind of like wanting. I felt kind of like without purpose here. Like kind of like I'm not wanted, but like I didn't want like anybody to know that.
I'm
I
just
guess
curious as to why Theo is going to do this when like... okay, so Cantarius, you know that Ayrees is on his way back. At this point, you know that that's true.
Right.
So you can bring that up if you want to.
I don't know if I would.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just say, and don't forget that you do have family here, and I don't mean just me.
Oh,
That sounded like you weren't too convinced by yeah.
I think he says. I realize there's some things I need to take care of first. Oh no, he says that's one of the things I need to take care of right now. You know where I could find Ayrees?
He's not here. He'll be coming back soon. But for now, he's still on his mission.
Well, I gotta head out.
Give me till then to decide whether I stay or go.
Should I
I'll make my
Should
decision
I?
when
No.
I'll make my decision then.
Thanks, Mom. Yeah, don't
Get you a headset there.
And then he just kind of walks out.
From 6.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
Okay. So Alrek, I guess like you pass Theo in the hallway.
Yep.
I'm-
Sorry.
Yeah, if you don't want to, like, if you guys don't say anything, then you know that's the way it is.
Digging out my documentation on how to play this character. So I know. How much do I know about this fella?
Theo,
Yeah.
you know that he's Ayrees' cousin. Just vaguely, you probably heard that just from Ayrees. Remember, Ayrees was you like made friends with Ayrees the last time you
Yes.
saw him. You guys like went drinking together.
Yes.
And you know that he's on the way back.
Correct.
And you know that Theo is kind of like the general of the Crow Inquisitors, kind of. He's the guy who's trained all the soldiers, at least.
Hmm. I don't know why I run into the same problem with all my characters. I run out of ideas for direction,
Yeah.
and
that's fine, right? Like, you can just walk past him. We know that you have a direction that is to talk to Cantarius and size him up. So if there's nothing interesting that would happen between Theo and Ulrich, they just pass by each other.
What is wrong with everybody wanting to talk to me today? I have business to attend to.
I mean, I don't have to.
Well, and Cantarius, I don't know why you're in such a hurry because you don't know where it is. You can't.
Yeah, that's
have
the
to
problem,
Find
right?
out where this thing is
I am in a hurry.
to do it.
I mean, if it helps, Siegfried didn't want to talk to you.
Yeah, I don't have anything specific that I want.
So Cantarius, in the like brief space when Theo was left, but Ulrich hasn't yet arrived, you turn to Siegfried and like, well, you're like, we should go like find this demon.
I mean, yeah.
Another knock at the door.
Or I just come walking in. Something
Yeah.
about a demon?
Yeah, something. About
Yes, we all have our inner demons.
Nice
make a
save.
falsehood test.
Gosh, darn. I mean, that's not really a lie at all. That's a
You're
play on
trying to
words.
misdirect.
That is completely redirection. That is not a play on words, sir.
Yeah.
Falsehood. I don't even have that. It's me.
Wait, what? How?
Yeah.
We had
I'm
this conversation before.
pretty
Yeah, we've
sure.
had this conversation before. Yeah.
Okay. Is that Will?
Yeah, I think
perception?
Araki of 4 will. So up 4. I'll give
Yes.
you +1 modifier dice for believability. Like, it's not believable that you guys were actually talking about demons, probably.
Hey, there we go. Okay. So what's the ob?
Up 4.
Well, doubles to 8.
Falsehood.
Yeah, you ain't very good at covering that up.
Yeah, so it just sounds real awkward to you, Ulrich, when you walk in. Just
Mhm.
like, inner demons. Of course, that's what we were talking about.
Hey, Caleb, I gotta go.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, dude. I feel like we should have gotten more into,
Oh, it's all right,
into
it's
Theo's
all right.
stuff.
I like listening to you guys. I like keeping up with like
The story of
time
what's happening.
going
Yeah,
on,
sure.
so I get new ideas, and I kind of have an idea of things I want to do.
Okay, cool.
Like I think that just what happened gave me some ideas for next time. So
Sure, sounds good.
Mhm.
All right, Geo, dude.
Have a good night.
all right, see you guys.
Are your overlays all busted now?
Nope. They're all fixed again. Because I just went to 5-person. And it's all good.
Oh, right, because he didn't have his camera on.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, so you know Siegfried is misdirecting from something.
Go find a demon. How much do I know about?
You
Demons?
can make a test. That sounds
Not
like a wise test
demon.
right there.
I'm thinking it is a knowledge local.
No, we're not playing Pathfinder.
Technically.
It could be, let's see. It's probably, some sort of wise, right? Like maybe like folklore or something. It depends on what you want to know.
Horsewise.
Right? If you want to know about horse demons, that's an 8 horse wise.
Yeah, no.
What do you want to
think-
like? Did you want to actually know something specific about this?
No, I guess I'm just like more. What is the general?
Yeah,
I
like
just
the general idea that you have about demons.
yeah, like
Uh,
from the Uragal,
The Yurgard,
Uragard
mythology and
myth,
stuff.
the mythos that they.
Yeah. Every culture in this world has myths about demons. Spirits in the night who come and steal your children, or people who think spirits who possess you. There's different stories. The Yurgard, I think, so the Vatengard largely ignore claims of demons. But the Yurgard definitely have a sort of warrior mythos surrounding demons that basically it's like warriors who want to sell their souls for power can do so, and they make pacts with these demons that give them extraordinary strength. And that's a prominent mythos in Yurgard legend. It's making pacts with demons for supernatural strength and stuff.
And is that sort of just
It's sort of frowned upon.
if you can do this, you're gonna just end up amazing and godlike powerful, or is it more of you can do this, but they're going to take more from you
Yes.
than okay. So the whole point of the myths is
there's a cost to power.
Is it like stories of grand heroics of a king who sacrificed his soul to save his kingdom
I think
to gain the power?
There's two
Or is
different
it-
kinds, right? Yeah, there's ones like that, right, where it's like they made the noble sacrifice to bind themselves to a demon so that they could have the strength to defeat their kingdom. But there's also plenty of stories of just like young Yurgard who didn't want to train, right, and become better warriors and wanted to skip steps and just become amazing warriors, and it always ended badly for those sorts of people. They made the pact with the demons, and they did a bunch of heroic feats, but then they ended up, dying horrifically and having their bodies slowly disintegrated from the demon's power and stuff like that.
Okay, that sounds slightly familiar. They just sort of stop needing to eat and things.
Yeah.
How much meddling do demons do in normal affairs? Besides the whole let's work with the demons sort of deal. In terms of lore, is that something that
Yeah, there are definitely prominent myths everywhere in the world of making deals with demons. That's a very prominent thing. Because it's happened in history a lot of times at this point.
Mm-hmm. I think Ulrich can try to push a little harder then. I don't know what questions to ask, but Ulrich might, so
See, I'm definitely interested in Ulrich walking in on this situation and maybe starting to get involved in whatever this subplot is going to be.
I mean, in this case, right? There's some talk of a demon, and as the captain of the Outriders, it's kind of important to him to know what's going around so he can keep people safe, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, having the option to bond with the demon in his back pocket is always a good, you know, trump card, if necessary, for crazy important feats of awesome power for whatever purpose. There's not really a major threat, but if somebody hands you the keys to a B-52, you don't exactly throw them back at them, you know? You tuck them in your pocket and save it for a rainy day.
Yeah, so does Ulrich say anything in that moment after, you know, Siegfried's trying to, like, deflect and, like, wait, what about demons? What's going on?
Well, now you have me curious. Don't think you can go find your inner demons.
Oh, I'd like to prove you wrong there, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, so Cantarius, you have this awkward moment of, like, you were talking about something kind of bad and clandestine with these other people in the room, and now an outsider just walked in. There's
a man mountain in the door asking about it.
He's like, wait a second.
I didn't know what to do before. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Can't roll falsehood.
That's like, how many times has this been a problem for you, Cantarius?
What, not being able to lie?
Yeah.
Quite often.
Yeah, the two skills that every Burning Wheel character should have: persuasion and falsehood.
Yep. So, okay, repeat what you say, so I have direct implications.
Ulrich just said something like, you can't go find your inner demons, like, what's going on here? And Siegfried was like, oh, I can prove you wrong there.
And he's at this point just like grasping at straws.
Yeah, he's
ugly truth.
I mean, I don't care if you find out either way. I'm just prodding for the Cantarius to talk.
Ugly truth. My son was killed by a demon.
Doesn't the ugly truth have to be true? Didn't we kill him?
I mean, no, he was killed. In my
destroyed.
Mind, he was
destroyed.
Destroyed.
He was destroyed, and then it works.
He was destroyed by a demon.
Okay, fair.
Ulrich blinks and takes a bit of a step back. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, Ludwina just nods solemnly. She's like, I've had the same reaction all afternoon.
My son was possessed and destroyed by a demon. And it took a friend of mine to murder him before he was ever released.
Here? When did... Now?
A long time ago.
Okay.
So please, just walk away.
That's an ugly truth roll, right? Like,
it is an ugly truth roll.
So let's just, and again, I don't think the ugly truth. So, Ulrich, is there a possibility of an intention succeeding here where Ulrich will just walk away from this?
I mean,
could ugly truth do that?
Yeah, maybe.
What do you think the ob would be?
26.
Isn't the ob on ugly truth based on the truth?
It is actually, yeah. I'm gonna look at it.
It might be.
That's a pretty truthy truth.
It is. That might just be stating the obvious worst possible outcome. Let's be real.
What did you actually say, Connor?
He said, demons will, like, I had a son who was destroyed by a demon. You don't want to get messed up with demons. Walk away. Sounds like...
I mean, that doesn't sound at all like a good idea. Because if you're like, yeah, there's
That's not
demons, we're gonna mess with them, so you should probably
That's
leave,
not what I
otherwise.
said.
You
So
might
what do
get
you say? Sorry.
involved. Like,
Oh, that's actually the
said-
way I think Ulrich's going to interpret this, unless
Yeah.
he succeeds with his statement.
right.
Yeah. So what's your clarifying bit there, Connor?
I said my son was murdered by destroyed by a demon, possessed and destroyed by a demon. It took one of my friends to murder him before he was ever released from his demon.
Mm-hmm.
So please just walk away and leave us be.
Right. So you're gonna get possessed by a demon too, and then we're gonna have to kill you if you get mixed up in this.
No.
What are
We're
you trying to
talking
say?
about demons. Why do you need to know? We're talking about demons. Go away.
I feel like that kind of
Well, no,
statement
we're
would make
talking about-
Ulrich more likely to want to be involved.
Right. That's the
as
problem.
far
His
as I
job
know
is
him.
to protect the city.
Yeah, wouldn't he be
Uh-huh.
like, well, no, if you're gonna mess with something like that.
We're looking for it. No.
If you're drawing circles on the ground, with virgin blood, I need to know so I can stop you
Yeah.
forcefully
I'm talking
with
about
my hammer.
What
I mean,
I'm
the
trying to
demons
imply.
don't actually need virgin blood. Normal blood.
Number one.
Actually,
You never heard us talking about there being a demon under the castle.
That's true.
No,
You
I just heard let's go find the demon.
let's
That's
go
true.
find the demon, and Jared was like, "Oh, we all have our demons," kind of a thing. And I'm like, "This is the demon we're talking about. It's both." And right now we're just talking. That's what I'm trying to imply.
Hmm.
Right. So it's like this is not a conversation you want to be a part of because it's dark and
Right.
ugly. Not that there's like actually a demon thing going on, but you just don't want to be part of this conversation.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just trying to shock you with the truth of what's going on right now, so that you won't ask any more questions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's make an up 3. For that specific intent.
I mean, I'm really tempted to just say no. Just actually say maybe
That would
maybe
work.
an ob 4.
Sure, we can do up 4.
Let me look at some things here and make sure that mechanically makes sense. I don't actually see mechanically a reason to make it any more difficult.
Sure. So up 3, ugly truth.
Can I fork in philosophy and say what I said before?
Which was?
What's said in the secret room gets shouted on the rooftop.
Right.
This
yeah,
is
sure.
a personal matter.
Yeah, sure.
Are you implying that I'm going to go shouting to everybody about this? And if so, the meerkat's out of the bag.
Snap. Look, I failed.
You got a 6 though.
I know.
Wait, I thought it was base, or I thought it was 4.
No,
No,
there was no mechanical reason to make it
Hey,
4.
look, I failed.
Oh.
Yeah, you failed. All right, mark that difficult test. But yeah, so Ulrich, you don't buy it. You're like, no.
No,
this is
no,
something
I got
should-
this. I got
Yeah,
this.
go ahead.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Do you need a drink? Go get a drink. Tell me about it sometime.
I just stare at you, and now I'm gonna roll intimidate.
I'm just standing next to Ludwetta. I'm like, man, these have been a pretty awkward last few conversations. I'm like, what's going on?
So if you roll intimidate, you probably need to say something.
Yep. So,
Do recall that Ulrich's perception is 3, so staring him down meaningfully might not work so well.
Look, are you stupid? I said a thing to you.
He's got a 3 perception, not a 2. But
Yeah, no. I mean, that's you telling him he's stupid for not responding to you. like, look, I'm talking to you.
okay, so I say, excuse me? This is a very personal matter we are discussing. And you are a soldier underneath Caspian, who I now consider to be my ally.
Mm-hmm.
Please leave me be, or I will have to go to your superiors.
Ooh.
I'm gonna fork in rule of law.
Ooh.
Ugly truth. Or can I not fork that in because I just used it?
Yes,
Like,
because you
that's
just failed.
definitely
Yeah.
ugly truth, but okay. Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
So rule of law, persuasion, command, since I'm commanding him.
Yeah. It's not so much that you have the actual like ability to command him in like a fictional sense,
Right.
but more that
You have the voice
know
of
how
command.
to. Yeah, you know how to voice commands. Yeah.
Okay. I was considering doing my voice thing, and then I was like, nah.
You're gonna blast me with magic.
Yeah, that's too much. Too much. Okay, what's the difficulty?
The difficulty
I just don't-
is what base skill is this? Persuasion?
Is my skill? Oh no, intimidation.
Intimidation? Yeah, still just will, so ob 4.
What?
Oh my god. You have 2
Wrecked.
6s though.
Holy.
Oh my goodness. This game is so
What?
dumb.
You
that's
are
hilarious.
literally
That
the
is
worst.
so funny.
What?
I actually feel a little bit better about myself right now.
What?
Ulrich.
It's so funny.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Ulrich leans forward.
Ooh, things are starting to tense up.
We finally get to see
Oh,
Ulrich's
we
hammer
finally-
skill.
I asked Ludwetta who she puts her money on.
She kind of like looks like suggestively at Ulrich and raises an eyebrow. She's like, the big one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really much fun if we both put money on the same person, so I'll put my money on the other one. Take things up.
If it was possible to earn two fate points for humor, you would have done it.
I'm not convinced you're here for therapy, Cantarius. Consulting with a practitioner of the arcane about demons? My job is the security of White Sea, and if there is arcane shenaniganry going on, I need to know about it.
Arcane shenaniganry.
Yes, it's great.
What are you doing? And I'm going to roll intimidation.
Gonna intimidate him right back.
Oh yeah.
What's your will?
Oh, Connor, I just realized you have a call in for intimidation.
That's true.
But
Oh
I
my
think
goodness.
this is the thing. I think because we kind of moved on fictionally,
Might
I'm
be.
not gonna let you roll it, but just so you keep that in mind,
No.
because we've already moved past that point. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and roll, Ulrich.
All right, so I'm going to fork in persuasion. I'm going to fork in command. I'm going to fork in conspicuous. I'm going to fork in soldiering. And I'm going to fork in...
I think soldiering might be like hard work and like marching.
That's true.
But I might be remembering wrong.
No, that's true. No, you were the one to call me on it, though. Oh. And in the middle of all of it, I'm going to quick sit down, slug a beer, build a fire, and fork those in too.
No.
But I will do
You light a
politics.
fire
But I
under
will
it.
do politics-wise because there are political implications to this, and I would know about such things. Yes,
You're gonna.
and
You know you're
what's my obstacle?
my will is 4.
Yeah, so it'd be against as well. So
You can do it.
You're gonna succeed with flying.
Nice.
nice.
That's so
Yeah. So what does that
ridiculous.
look like, Cantarius?
Oh man.
That's great.
No.
I just
Makes
walk
no
out of the
sense.
room.
You just walk out of the room.
I just walk out.
Oh. Oh man.
This game
Ah.
so much.
Hey, at least you
By
didn't
all
roll
rights,
26
you should
dice.
have won that.
Yeah.
And he would have won it if he hadn't.
Right. Well, he
Forgot
might
about
have. Theoretically, he could have rolled another
That's
like
true,
double
that's true,
ones.
that's
and-
true.
Yeah.
So Siegfried, what do you say?
Jeez.
Ulrich looks over at
Oh,
Siegfried.
so wait. Ludwig holds out her hand to you, Siegfried.
All that money you don't have.
I mean, it's possible you have just like pocket change, right? So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jared, why did you spell falsehood wrong?
What?
Why did you spell falsehood wrong? Why couldn't you just put an E in there?
Or
What?
Why you
capitalization.
gonna do that?
His falsehood skills spelled with no E.
That's great.
It's also not
Your-
capitalized. Keep
Jared,
going, man.
your falsehood.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. Oh, there it
No,
is.
I'm just kidding. It doesn't matter.
Jared.
Oh, good stuff.
There we go. Fixed it.
Have you all been marking down your tests, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. I always forget that. So
Have you been marking down your fate?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I'm
what
the
it's
kind
spent
of-
on? Falsehood.
This is a routine routine test because forks.
Yeah.
Mm.
Forking
makes things
forks.
Too easy.
Let's see. I feel like I did another. Nope, I didn't. We're good.
Yeah, if you had a skill called forking, you would be
Oh no.
forking in
No,
forking.
no. You don't want a skill called
No,
forking.
you don't want to fork. You don't.
I
don't
know,
want a
I
skill
know.
called
I
forking.
realize that. I'm just
Yeah.
because your mind's on the gutter,
Practice
people.
splitting.
It's attacking someone
what
with a
else does that
fork.
mean?
It's
No, it's
attacking someone
not.
with a fork. That's what it
No,
means.
it's not. That's called stabbing.
That's called
Okay.
assault.
It's
Or,
called
I mean,
assault.
legally, it's called assault or battery.
I was
But
about to say, David. Ooh, we learned this. Don't you dare call it assault.
yeah,
Actually,
I mean,
no.
It's not
No, no,
assault
no.
in this
What if
state.
it was a peanut?
Oh, they don't live in Wisconsin, okay?
Guys,
Who knows what they
the
call
forking scale would be operating a forklift. That is what that would be.
it? That's forklifting.
I believe that would
it's
be
not.
fork. That would be.
No, that's literally. I looked
That
it
would
up.
be-
That's the word for it.
What is
Did you literally just Google that, Caleb?
Yes, I
Make your
did.
point.
Oh, forklift.
Yeah, that wouldn't be something I would Google, but okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. So we
I still contend that would be light machinery operation, but
Present participle forklifting.
I mean, given the way Burning Wheel is so specific about things, though, who knows?
Yeah.
If we made
It's
a
already a
Burning
seduction skill.
Wheel hack specifically about light machinery operation, that would be one of the skills.
you know, a grocery store
grocery
a grocery store operation.
simulation.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
your burning wheel campaign takes place in a grocery store,
Yeah, and your life paths are the different positions you've held in the company.
Yep, absolutely.
and you've got you've got all sorts of people and all sorts of departments, and you've got to deal with
Customers.
customers.
Crappy management and
Yeah. You have to pay your bills.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really rigorous resource cycle. It's every week.
Oh god.
And timing.
Pay your rent every week. Oh.
You got to manage your timing of your employees.
Yeah, no, you have
Balancing-
to make accounting
you gotta
tests. and
Balance.
stuff.
Yeah, like
Administration.
for fresh production, you got to balance quality with time of employees being consumed, and
They have to make circles rolls every time you want someone to do something.
you need to hire somebody. You need to hire somebody new.
You
Circles
roll
rolls.
circles, yeah.
You have your employees roll circles.
Gosh. Anyways.
I kind of half want to make that game now.
No.
That would be one of those. That would be like a Dwarf Fortress style
I know, right? Yeah.
pain game. The point of the game would be to
Just be
Just
ridiculously over.
make yourself hurt
Yeah.
with trying to
Yeah.
micromanage everything.
We basically just take all the parts of this game that feel like too much grind and make them the whole game.
Yes.
It's just resources.
You get a paper cut, you get a -1 to all your rolls. Suck it.
I mean, is that not what happens?
Exactly. Yeah, it is.
Thank you so much, Chief Bones, for giving us 100 bits. Appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yay.
Extraordinaire.
Probably
Um,
one of Jared's jokes.
All right, what was happening? No.
I was just about to turn my intimidation blast onto
Ooh,
Siegfried.
sorry. 4 doesn't quite cut it for me, buddy.
Oh, yeah, he'll probably. Oh no, I guess let it ride. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I think we'll keep it like that.
Probably just pull out the hammer, break your skull open, see what's inside then.
Oh wow.
I mean, if you're looking for a list of magical shenanigans and tomfooleries and monkey shines, I have quite a long list. I should inform you. But I mean, I assure you, your boss has given me free reign over all of my magic.
Most of those things are probably my fault. So.
That is not comforting. What do you intend to do with the demon?
I'm not intending to do anything. He was just curious about my knowledge. Actually, that's a lie. I'm sorry. I'm gonna reword that differently.
No, you're gonna roll falsehood, sir.
Crap.
You must have some kind of aura that undoes your falsehoods. I can't imagine you would have gotten this far without some kind of incapacitating, pathological inability to lie.
Oh, hey.
I mean,
Wait.
That was definitely not the ob.
Yeah,
it was
No,
4.
yeah, that's true.
4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, 8.
Which means it's 8.
Exactly.
Because yeah,
So you failed.
right.
You got 1 6.
That's not worth it.
I mean, it's technically possible.
Yeah.
See if I can get my webcam to stop misbehaving. No, that's gonna make it worse. That might help. I mean, if I sat still, that'd do it
so
too. But
you know he's lying.
just knowledge sounded more like I heard a call to action. What are you intending to do with the demon? Or what did Cantarius want with the demon? It's the better question.
Well, that I do not know, and that I'm very curious to find out. Just as much as you might be.
And then he takes a drink of water.
I just getting
Why-
a drink.
I just wanted to
Yeah,
check.
who's lying?
I just wanted to check if that was a routine
Oh.
test. So you can mark another bubble on that, Siegfried.
I mean,
If it is on the phone, she's
the
lying to somebody
spren-
on the phone
The
next to
spren in the hole. That's who's lying.
you.
Spren? Where?
Spren. In the hole, the black sludge spren that's been killing people.
Oh, that's Spren.
Spoilers. Jeez.
hey, Connor.
What are you talking about?
Somebody
What are you
here hasn't read Oathbringer
Fanfiction,
yet.
Of course. What are you talking
Right, yeah, uh-huh. Anyways, moving on.
Bunch of fools.
Oh yeah. No, the Crow Inquisitors fanfiction that our many fans have written for us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has something to do
The
with
crossover
Spren.
episode
Hey,
with
hey guy
Roshar.
who's watching, I need you to make a fanfic of us.
Oh, goodness. Anyways.
I really hope they ship Dallin and Alphonse. That would be great.
Oh gosh, let's not encourage that.
What?
Uh,
Oh, man, that's
Jerry,
great.
you cheeky little boy.
that's
That
wrong
was
on
a
so
very
many
polite
levels.
way of putting that, Connor.
To be fair, your character's already accused of incest, so I guess it's fine.
What do you mean accused? It actually happened.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, I forgot.
He's
Sorry.
go on, say it.
Convicted of incest.
Yeah, there we go. Anyways, what was going on?
Hey, acquitted, fully and pardoned.
That's true.
So hush.
Accused, convicted, but acquitted.
Not
of
acquitted.
incest.
Not acquitted. It's not acquitted. It would
It's-
be
Right.
It would be
Pardoned.
pardoned.
it's
or-
it's either pardoned or there's another term for it.
There's a religious term for it that was what actually happened.
Emancipation.
Exonerated.
Exonerated.
That's right.
I'm gonna start with an
yeah,
E.
that makes sense.
All right. Anyways,
Expatriated didn't
yeah.
make sense. Neither did exfoliated. So
No, definitely not.
Okay, yeah. So the scene, what was going on?
I think Ulrich's at a bit of a loss now. Other than that, he's highly suspicious of them. He looks to
What?
Ludwetta and raises an eyebrow. Like, can you provide more
What's her
insight
will?
into the situation?
She has a will of 7. And it's
No,
appreciated.
she definitely doesn't.
How did you get her to
Gratiated
do
seven will.
anything?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't. That's the problem.
So I mean,
What
she
was her
kind of
roll?
just. I think she kind of just like shrugs.
Because she'd be intimidated if she had 4, right?
That's true. I should check that. No, she has 5.
Well, isn't that snazzy? All right.
I should build a character entirely around theatrics and intimidation and lying and like nothing else.
I mean, to be fair, Cantarius is all intimidation, and you've seen how well that worked for him. So.
But like, Cantarius doesn't lie. That's what's gimping his build.
Also, one of the problems with Cantarius is that like he also is trying to be a nice person, and
Right.
your highest skill is intimidation. That's not necessarily a optimal build.
Right.
Be good, darn it!
Yep.
I mean, the main problem
good,
is it's
son.
Connor that's actually rolling the dice.
I mean, let's be real, guys. This game.
Connor's just bad at role-playing games.
It hates
Hey,
you.
It hates you even more than
No,
it hates me.
if there's somebody who's bad at role-playing games, that's me. You can be bad at rolling dice, and then you can be bad at role-playing games. And I fall in the latter category, and he falls in the former.
You're not bad at playing.
No, there's a difference between bad and like, testing the waters, right? Like bad is somebody who is disruptive and not good
and is a
for
jerk. Yeah.
the table and is
Okay,
mean and
That's
vicious.
being
That's
bad
not
at a
you.
role-playing game.
That's bad,
Okay.
yeah. Or you could be Connor, just be really bad at dice. So.
Mhm.
No, I can't talk too much smack because
He just doesn't have a good Lex
dice and
skill.
got 6 successes and no 6s. So. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
so
mean, was
she
there
just
any more
shrugs.
to that? Oh right.
I mean, at this point, it's Ulrich's solemn responsibility to start investigating.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to start arresting people, it's within your. I mean,
Jurisdiction?
yeah.
Purview.
I don't think that. Wow. Hold on a second. Jared, help me out.
Yes.
What does he not need to arrest them because this is a medieval world and not modern world?
So if truly nothing
A
is
warrant?
happening, you wouldn't mind me bringing this up to Caspian, would you?
Oh, by all means, go ahead. He'll be glad that I'm progressing so quickly in our research endeavors.
Probable
Oh,
cause.
yeah, right, 'cause
You don't
that's
need
the-
probable cause.
Ah, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh,
That's
Probable cause and due process? Meh.
I mean,
Yeah, who needs
Caspian's
that? We have
literally a
power.
dictator, so
Exactly.
Miranda
Yeah, not my
rights?
town.
Meh.
Yeah.
No,
there's no person named Miranda here. They don't,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Miranda isn't born for a long time.
Yeah. Or it's not even the same world.
Exactly.
So
Now I need to make a character in the future called Miranda just to say that no, they actually do exist.
just to have that pun
Oh,
not work.
oh, man.
So Siegfried, right? Like you could just tell him like I'm doing this, right? Like yeah, I'm doing this to get power for Caspian's like project.
Yeah.
And that's just persuasion, right?
I mean, I'm not trying to persuade him of anything. I don't particularly care. I just like seeing the way people react and think.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
so you're
like,
literally
I'm
just
very-
toying with both of us then.
That's literally my MO.
I like your character.
Make her trolling roll.
I mean, this entire time I've had to.
Yeah,
I've
do you
rolled-
have trolling in your skills there?
Yeah. Trolling. and forging.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and start a being learned for trolling wise.
No. Oh, trolling wise? Oh, absolutely. I was about to say
Trolling
you're just saying
wise. Oh,
trolling,
no.
but yeah, trolling wise is that can totally be a skill, man.
That's great. And it also doubles as information on trolls, which don't exist in this world, so it's really useful.
Not yet.
Once he rolls on that skill, they will.
Oh no, yeah, great.
Oh, that's where Shush came from.
A trolling wise roll, yeah.
yeah.
It's just a
Ruth-
failed
Ruth made it
transmutation.
troll-wise, and-
Just the failed transmutation attempt on Caspian.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, gosh.
And then an alternate dimension shift.
Yeah.
Opened a rift between worlds and
I mean, that's kind of a thing.
And then, I mean, that's where your
between
character came
Twitch
from,
and
right?
real
Siegfried?
life.
Yeah.
Siegfried got mind wiped and teleported into that world with him.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
He's Radagast.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, right. Anyways, all right. Is there anything left in the scene? We've been on it for a while.
No, I don't think so at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
We rabbit trail really badly.
Yes, we do. This is something I am good at. If you will notice, I have a 6 gray in that.
Rabbit trail wise, yeah.
Great at that. Yeah. Oh,
I have a 6 gray in rabbit trail.
Ironically, that's what we're doing right now.
All right. So, I mean, does anyone have another scene they want to close up with?
Close up with?
We got a half an hour left or so, but
I mean, I'll go find.
It's gonna take us a half hour to do beliefs and instincts at the end, and then more rabbit trails. So
yeah. So like, I'm thinking
he's not wrong.
One more scene, and then we'll
well, I have a belief for Ayrees. So if we could have him come back.
Have Ayrees come back?
Oh yes.
Yeah. I think that was supposed to be like a central part of the episode.
Yeah, and then we got in. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a big deal. But...
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we can do that. So we cut there, and then we see the dust on the horizon. And we get like a montage, right, or a quick scene of like Kasim coming up to you and saying they've arrived. And then like, you know, it's still a whiles off when he says that, but like you can see them in the distance. But then we cut forward and they're here. They're rounding, coming down the road towards the camp or towards the city, and Ayrees is at their head. He looks super grizzled and like way more war veteran now. I think he. Yes, Jared. Were you saying something?
I said, did he level up?
I mean, he got a few skill points, yeah.
Yeah. Quick question, Josh. Did you tell me about that conversation you had?
No.
No. Okay.
No, that's going in my pocket for later.
Okay. Just curious, because that would kind of color this. So. Okay.
Yeah. So, Ayrees.
Color your reaction to Ayrees, you mean?
Yeah. Well, not really, but sort of. Indirectly.
Okay.
Cantarius, did you go back to the camp, to the Crow Inquisitors camp, after that conversation with Siegfried?
Connor?
Oh, I didn't know you were talking to me. I thought you were asking again. Go ahead. Say it again.
Did you go back to the Crow Inquisitors camp when you left the conversation with Siegfried?
I mean, probably. I mean, we're closing the session, so I'm not going to try doing anything else.
Also, you don't know where it is, so like you couldn't just go there.
No, obviously, if I've learned anything from gaming, you just open the nearest hatch into the sewer and jump. You'll wind up there eventually.
Yeah. I guess my question really is, Connor, like, do you stick around the palace for a while, or do you go back to the camp?
I think I'd probably go back to camp.
Okay. Yeah, so you are in camp when the strong arrive back. So you hear like a bustle outside of your tent, right? You hear people saying they've come back, Ayrees is back. And you see some of like the strong who didn't end up going because they're women or children or elderly or whatever, or they were Ludwig's husband and he just got out of it because he pretended to be sick or whatever. They're all like gathering at the edge of camp.
Draft dodger.
Yeah, waiting for Ayrees to come back. They're like standing at attention, waiting for him to come back. And Nadimo like steps into your camp and steps into your tent and says, "He's back." And I'm assuming we just cut from there, right?
Dun dun dun.
He just goes into. I'm assuming you're just gonna have him go into your palace, Caspian, so you can talk to him.
Yeah. Now they spent the whole time raiding. Did they bring anything back?
Yeah. They brought some supplies, some
how many
wagons
funds
full of
dice
stuff.
worth of stuff did they?
I mean, yeah.
I'm picturing like full Roman victory parade here.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let's say a fund die.
Wow, it took them 2 months for one fund.
I mean, again, one fund die is a non-perishable source, right?
Fair. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, and I'm not going to add it because I think part of the whole point was that I'm paying them, so
so they're just going to keep that. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Oh
That
yeah,
wasn't my
I
intention
probably should
anyways.
have rolled for them, like for the resources thing, but oh well. See how
Oh,
well
yeah.
they fared in the desert.
Yeah. Well, they probably did pretty well if they have all this stuff.
Right, and that's the thing. Yeah, they have like stuff and they rated.
It's much more interesting narratively that we hand wave it and just say that they came back with lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if they just went out and they died in the desert, that is a different
That's the
direction
thing, right?
to take.
I actually had like a threat like clock that was happening in the back too, so I know exactly what happened in the desert.
Okay. So if you had failed the resource roll and they died,
yeah, I mean they wouldn't have died if they failed the resource roll, but yeah, they would have had significantly less stuff probably. But yeah, so we just see like a montage, right, of the Strong arriving, them kind of like setting up base camp like to the right. So if this is like if the gate of the city is like in front of you, the Crow Inquisitors would be on the left, right? That their camp would be on the left, and the Strong setup camp on the right, and the gate like divides them. And so we see Ayrees make his way into the city and come to visit you in the palace. So where are you? Set the scene for me, David. Where are you when you meet with him, and who's with you?
Well, we saw them coming from a ways off, so I think there's probably like a small, like we're probably in like an off dining room or something like that with a meal set. And actually, I think just for the point of sort of putting that narration in there, I think it's probably in the main dining hall, and I think almost all of my wives are there at this point.
Sure.
And
wasn't it a problem last time we put them all in the same room?
Yeah. Well, there wasn't all of them. That was a bunch of them, but this is like probably twice as many. Because a lot of them were out like doing things, which nobody knows that. So the fact that the number of wives I have just doubled is probably kind of weird for people. But anyways, the faces changed a lot as time went on. Anyways, but yeah. So I think he probably has a place for him set there.
Sure.
And probably a couple places like if Cantarius wants to come or that kind of thing. And
yeah, right. And
Ulrich,
that's what
obviously.
I'm also asking, I guess, too, is like who of the player characters are there? I'm assuming Ulrich is probably there.
Unless he didn't want to come.
And then Siegfried and Cantarius.
Why would I not want to come to my friend's victory banquet?
Yeah, are you both there, Cantarius and Siegfried?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Gotta see how that hands out.
Yeah. So something that you did notice, Caspian, when they were arriving, is that they don't have as many men. Like I think about half of their number came back.
Yeah,
oh no,
that's not surprising at all.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm kind of impressed that any of them came back. So.
Yeah.
Them all dying was a very legitimate, outcome that he was prepared to, to deal with. So.
Sure. Yeah. And so, Ayrees walked into the room, super like superhero like, right? Like he has this giant sword strapped to his back, and he's just wearing like this. He's not wearing a shirt. He just has this like a strap with the sword, right? And that's the only thing that's on him. But he has,
wearing no shirt to my dinner.
Yeah. No. Yeah. For sure. He has like a scar across his face. He just looks like super hardcore now. He looks like he would be in a metal band.
Gosh.
And he steps in and he says, "Caspian, I see that you've made bed with liars and thieves." And he like looks at Cantarius.
He stands up and smiles. It's Ayrees. Just there have been a few changes since you've left, though I'm glad to see you've returned, and it looks like you've done very well for yourself.
I have.
Yeah, and I think he rounds the table and goes to like shake his hand.
Yeah, I think he doesn't do it at first, right? He kind of like looks at your hand, and then he just like sighs and reaches over and grasps your hand. And he's like, "Thank you for the opportunity, Caspian, to do some good in this world."
Of course. And as per our agreements, your men will have station within the town walls, and
he holds up a hand. He holds up a hand and interrupts you, and he's like,
"Okay,
that won't be necessary."
Why is that?
Well, Whitesea no longer interests me.
Do you have somewhere else you'd like to stay?
Well, to the victor goes the spoils. I have taken control of Northkeep.
I'm sorry, what? That's not what he says, but yeah. So he,
Holy crap.
yeah, I think he just looks at him for a moment and says, "Seems you were a far more competent force than I'd expected. You'll have to regale me with the details." And he gestures to it, the chair.
I suppose I could spare a moment or two to tell you of our victories for the spirit. He looks over at Ulrich and he kind of like nods like kind of like friendly to you and he says, Ulrich, we'll have to get a beer or two before I leave.
I would look forward to it.
I have many stories that I wouldn't share in the present company, but I would share in yours. He like looks at like the numerous wives that are like.
Ulrich kind of awkwardly raises a wine goblet, like this doesn't really fit in my hand, but I'll toast to that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think
beer is too small.
Yeah, Ayrees steps over and like grabs like a bottle of wine that's on the table, right, and like just starts pouring it in this goblet that you've set out for him and takes a big swig. He's like, yeah.
Sorry.
He looks
also, I assume that the Sahiba is here as well. What was her name? I'm sorry.
Sure. Yeah, Vashri. Well, so that's the thing.
You killed her.
Siegfried. No. Siegfried. You. So are you actually at this meeting?
Oh yeah. No, this will be interesting.
Yeah. No,
right.
I am.
Crap.
David, I thought you killed her.
No, I just told her not to chase you
He
anymore.
made a deal with her.
I made a deal with her.
Oh.
He sent her away,
Who are the
hoping
people you
she would
poisoned?
die.
What?
No, wrong set of nobles.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I just murdered a
Wrong
bunch of
side.
people who said they wouldn't help me fight.
Okay, I thought that was the Sahiba.
No.
Okay.
No, she's on my side.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
during this whole like conversation, the Sahiba's been like, so she's like across the room from you with Siegfried, but she's just been like staring holes in you.
I shoot her a glance when he says that he's taken White Sea, or not White Sea, North Keep.
Yeah, and I guess you would like say something at that point.
I mean, I think part of my glance is like, let's talk about this later.
Yeah, she just looks at you and like narrows her eyes.
Yeah, and I just give her a knowing glance, like, yeah, no, it's not the plan.
Yeah, and so Ayrees is also like she came in with like a couple of other like soldier types as well, more of the strong.
Right.
So.
Cool. All right.
But yeah,
so
he looks at you, Caspian, and he says, "So, I guess it's okay then that I won't be taking residence here because it seems that you've taken the other half of the Crow Inquisitors and made them into your pets."
He smiles as well. They've, as per my request, made overtures to express their good intent and their change of heart, as it were. And in exchange, I've allowed them to construct a fortification for themselves to live outside the current walls, but within their own walls, of course.
Yeah,
we get a punch. We get a punch-in shot of Ulrich sort of sitting there. You can tell by the way he's bobbing his head that he's big words. Totally bored out of his mind. Thinks this guy's an idiot.
Me or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I have permitted them to construct a fortification
No, yeah,
They
fair.
built a wall.
to make overtures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so
That's
Ayrees
great.
looks at you and he
Okay.
says, yes. Loyal pets indeed, I've found are Cantarius and his dogs when they are properly tamed.
Wow.
You gonna rise to this bait?
Yeah, I raise my eyebrow over at you, like, can I take that?
It doesn't seem to phase him.
Yeah, he just turned back and says, well, it's not how I would describe them, but I understand that we have different views. Tell me, how did you have to tell me the story of your conquest of Northkeep. Ito's been giving me trouble for some time. Is he still alive?
No, of course not.
Oh,
His
good.
head is mounting the battlements as we speak.
I must say you've done quite a favor for me.
Yes.
I've actually been preparing to do the same for myself for some time. It seems you've spared me quite the expense.
Yes. Yes, I have.
Leaving out the fact that I've already paid for all of this, you giant.
Yeah, and so he basically like, regales you with his story, right? Where he tells you about how they had here. I'm just gonna bring up the checklist that I wrote down of the things that happened.
Okay.
So the Strong reached the neighboring town and began like harassing the caravans and the outriders and all that stuff, like as bandits basically. They began to win some pretty good victories, and then Torin, the one guy that you convinced to go sabotage.
Sabotage.
Yes.
Eero's place. He was
Love that guy.
sabotage.
You guys.
Yeah.
The former Holy Knight.
Yeah, I love that guy.
He joined with the Strong. Ayrees met with him. And they ended up like working together to like take down. Started to take down Eero. But what ended up happening, so Ayrees continues telling the story, Ayrees challenged Torin to single combat and then took control of all of his mercenaries. He basically converted them to the Strong.
Wait, did he kill Torin?
Oh no.
And he killed Torin, yeah.
Oh. I look very displeased when he says that.
Yeah, because you can't leave an enemy alive.
Well, yeah, but I like Torin. Anyways.
No, I know. Yeah, that's why I killed him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so he tells you the story, right? And he's like, yeah, and I think you notice now that a couple of the people who are with him, like the other soldiers that are with him, are definitely don't look like the normal Strong Crow Inquisitors, but rather you can see now signs of them being like Northern mercenaries.
Okay. So they lost a lot of people if they combined both mercenary company, but still came back with less than half of what they left with.
Well, that's the thing. They left half of the troops there.
Oh, all right, that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he finished telling this story. He's already drank like 2 goblets of wine at this point. And he says, but
only 2. Ulrich's on 3.
Oh, boy.
He looks over at you, Caspian, and he says, but yes, I came back as requested to let you know what happened. But I don't think I will be staying that long. I do believe the North Keep calls.
I do appreciate you returning. Certainly, it's welcome news to hear that Eero is no longer among us.
Of course. There were, as well, this isn't the only reason I came back to just inform you of this. I could have sent a messenger after all. I do have a few odds and ends to tidy up here in camp, and I do plan on bringing most of the Crow Inquisitors with me when I leave. And he just takes another drink. He looks at Cantarius when he says this.
Yeah, he just nods as I imagine that's something that two of you will have to discuss.
Is this guy a monk from Age of Empires? Wave his hands in the air and they turn from red to blue.
Okay, I stand up.
Okay, yeah. So I think I start to say like, so tell me, and then you stand up and I look over at you.
Okay. All right. This is where we've got to end. Okay.
Oh, and we're just getting started.
Yeah.
So he stands up and he looks over at Ayrees. This has been a very long time coming. You'll stand here, mock me, question my authority, as if you own the hearts of the people. But what you stand for is strength. And you think that I am weak. So if you would like to prove that you are indeed the true leader of the Crow Inquisitors, then why don't we fight? Why don't we prove your strength, Ayrees?
And he reaches up. I thought you'd never ask.
I mean, I stand up. That is quite enough. This is a dinner.
Ayrees just starts stepping forward.
This will not happen.
And he says, he's looking at Cantarius and he says, "Right here, right now, I will end you."
I look over at Kasim. I'm like, "Fetch the mercy, please." Like in like a hushed.
Ulrich stands up. We're gonna take this outside.
So Ayrees looks at you
To
with
the
like
parade
pleading
ground.
eyes. Ayrees looks at you with pleading eyes. He's like, "No, man, come on, don't be cool." Like,
These
Looks
floors
like-
are expensive. We're taking this to the parade ground. To do
he
this right.
sighs. Yeah, he sighs and he says, "Very well."
He looks at Caspian. You're welcome.
Yeah, he gives you an appreciative nod.
I probably should have had you roll there, but it's fine.
To the camp. Not before their people. Before our people.
No. Yes, that is better. And I will prove your folly on your body.
Who did that? Anyways,
Does anyone else say anything?
I mean, if anybody, I think I have a closing line. If anyone else
Sure,
has something
yeah.
to say first.
Nope.
Everyone else, like all the NPCs in the room, they're just like looking shocked at like this whole situation. Like, what?
Yeah. So yeah, I already told Kasim to mobilize the Rossi, and then I go over to oh my gosh, someday I'm gonna remember her name.
Gwen?
No. Vashi.
Bashri, yeah.
Yeah, I say, seems there's been a development. Perhaps you should prepare your men. Not entirely sure how this evening is going to play out. Now, if she has a retort to that, fine, but basically I'm like, yeah, we might end up having a really big fight here. So get all your
Yeah,
guys
I think
with their
her eyes twinkle, and she says, "The more the merrier," I say.
Yeah, he just sighs.
I'm surrounded by violent people.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, so me personally, I would like to just do this fight now because I'm super like pumped.
No,
for it.
I think we need to do this next session because it's going to blow up bigger than just a single combat. It really has
Oh,
to.
yeah.
Right, I know.
It has to, Caleb. Be
Uh,
patient.
I just want it. I've been waiting for this the whole
Yeah.
campaign.
Yep. So, I would like to make a mud pit, Caleb.
A mud pit?
A mud pit.
A mud pit.
What do you mean?
I would
You
like
just
to
pee
fight
in the
this
dirt?
mud
Are
pit.
you guys gonna wrestle?
So you want to like this is where you're gonna fight in a mud pit?
In a mud pit.
Sure. I'm sure Antonius could work that out.
I'll just
Also,
quick smith you
Are
up
you,
a mud
wait,
pit.
hold up a second.
Yeah,
This is
I
the
mean-
middle of the desert. The last thing you're going to do is dump a bunch of water in the ground, all right? Just,
This is a matter of strength. And endurance.
no, it's a matter of not dying of dehydration.
I think we did establish. We keep saying desert, but I think we did establish this is like a savanna.
Yeah, but it's at least bad enough that people have to come here for water.
I mean,
You
there's,
said
there's maybe like a
small
pond. You
places.
could say there's a pond nearby, right? And you just like
Yeah, but if you start taking water out of my pond, there's going to be a problem. Just dump on the sand.
You're going to get between two men.
No, I'm going to
Intent
order
on
hundreds
killing
of
each
my
other?
men to get in between them.
that's why I have soldiers.
Yeah, I don't care if they have white sword. They can't beat one guy with 100 help dice. All right, even if that guy's me and my sucky 2 dice.
So the reasoning for that, Caleb, is first of all, The Dark Knight Returns. But secondly,
Oh, of course, yeah. I forgot
I'm
about that.
older, he's younger. So if he would have speed over me.
Right, so you're trying to level the playing field because you
I'm
can
running
endure
the
more than him, but he has more speed on you. Yeah.
So
Dude, Connor,
I
I'm
would
gonna do attribute on you the entire time, just so you know.
What? I don't think I want your magic.
He's going to
No,
be
look.
he's going to be buffing you. Just let the support buff you.
You are not allowed to magic feedback yourself until I'm a golden statue of God. Okay.
Oh, dude,
Not
no,
allowed.
that stuff is that's easy stuff.
All
bro.
right. All right.
That's
You better not hurt yourself again. I'm not waiting another 6 months.
But
Okay,
as long
so
as I
we
don't
got-
roll speed again.
Are we done then, or what?
Yeah, we can
Yeah, I
wrap it up
think
there.
Okay,
Yeah,
I would like
credits
to
roll.
do mine first, and then we'll go back.
Yeah. I mean, we'll do them quickly, and you need to stay around because of the video overlays. But so Cantarius.
Sorry. Okay, not everyone here has to die. I will do this best for my people in order to teach them. I will unite our peoples to destroy them. Didn't really do anything with that. I have very little power here. I will find something or someone here to strengthen my people. I will not allow people to remain weak and vulnerable. So definitely work towards that.
You're working towards it, yeah.
I haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So White Sea has been stained with innocent blood. I will befriend Caspian to first and must befriend his allies. Kind of worked to the opposite of that with Ayrees.
Yeah.
To be honest, he didn't really not like you till this confrontation. It was really this dinner that.
Oh, because you like Ayrees, right? So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is gonna make this next bit real complicated.
Oh yes. No, I'm loving this.
And what's awesome is we're totally gonna break out the fight rules for this. So.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
I mean, my first attack is gonna be intimidation, and while he's
no, right, that's such a good strategy though, right? You have a lot of intimidation. You can make him hesitate and then just beat the crap out of him. Like
That's what I'm gonna do.
Connor, your strategy should be intimidate, great strike.
Well, you have
open him up
you have
for
to
finisher
wind up a great
damage.
strike, but
What do you say?
to wind up a great strike.
No, exactly, right? But that's the thing. He'll hesitate, and then he can land the great strike.
Oh, so yeah,
Right,
ready
so
in that great strike. I see what you mean,
exactly.
yeah. And the dumb thing about that is then he'll make a seal test, fail because it's a burning wheel, and it's impossible to succeed in field test or seal test, and then he'll stagger some more, and you can just do it again, and then it'll be a dumb.
It's called chain CC.
Yeah, it's called burning wheel in steel rolls.
I'm also going to give you a fate point, Connor, for if there is a problem, I will take the lead in order to protect my people. I mean,
okay,
right? You took the bait, and you're like, all right, bring it, all right? I'm trying to think if there's any traits or anything that came into play for you.
The one intimidation trait that I didn't use.
No, not using it does not count as
it
gets you in
Technically,
trouble.
not using it made him fail.
Exactly. I got into trouble because we forgot about my intimidating trait.
So I would actually just like to point out, now that we're thinking about this, I think Cantarius is angling up for a deeds point here. Right, he spent this entire time being like, no, we can't just like do brute force this, and now he's just decided, all right, we're gonna fight it mano a mano, and right, like depending on how this goes, right, I think Cantarius could definitely earn a deeds point here. Okay, cool. Caspian.
Alrighty. So my goals were: Ayrees is returning. I must reunite with him and formulate a plan. I didn't formulate a plan yet, but I reunited
got
with him.
nuked. You can take fate for it, yeah.
Okay. I am coming up with a plan. No, it's just a different plan.
Yeah.
It's
a plan
one
to
to
like
deal with
assassinate
Ayrees
him.
instead of
Yeah.
The time has come for change. The other lords have refused me, and now they must fall. They're pretty dead. So.
Oh yeah, you can take time for that. Yeah.
Where my body fails me, my mind holds strong. My old one. Siegfried is recovered enough. The time has come. Unfortunately, that did not come.
You can work. You can say you're working towards that because again, Nagi was a character you circles up, and you're commanding to help. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did that happen this session?
Yeah, I made a roll for
she
Nagi.
helped heal him. Yeah, she was the reason he got up so early.
Oh, okay.
Right. So via proxy, he worked towards it.
Always have someone dangerous to back you up. Preferably Gwen. That didn't get me in trouble. Never said of less when you could have more. I feel like this might have been sort of Ayrees' thing backfired with me doing that.
Yeah, you can take away for that for sure.
Always be the one in control. That's going to backfire on me next session. I guarantee it. I don't think any of my traits got me in trouble. No. Right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Cool. All right. Ulrich.
Crow Inquisitors are divided and unstable, yet incredibly influential. I must sound out the intentions of their leader. I mean,
you're working towards
I work toward that, and I think that one is changing very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. It might actually stay the same, depending on the outcome of the fight next time.
Yeah.
True.
It
might not
it's
matter
at least going to
much
stay
at
the
end of
same
this
next time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Temple is the center of the people's influence, and White Sea Priestess is the center of the temple. I must gain her trust and support. I don't know that that's necessarily going to happen. I think I'm going to replace that with something about demons.
Okay, yeah, no, for sure.
Nice.
And see, I really like the way this is turning out. Now this session has really aimed us in a very specific direction.
I wasn't really sure where I was going before this, and now I'm really excited.
Yeah, no, this session is definitely like pointing us toward the end of the season, and it's going to involve demon summoning. So I'm excited about that.
Yep.
I was destined for greatness. There's greatness in me still. I will build my influence in White Sea. I didn't really work toward
I don't
that.
think you did, no.
I didn't. I really only got the one sequence, which is totally fine with it. That's totally okay. Instinct influences currency. Seek it out wherever it can be found. We seek the interests of the people of White Sea. All is fair in intrigue and war. Violence is never off the table.
I'm interested to see that last one come into play next time.
I played toward both of the first two.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it.
But I don't know. It's necessarily. That's not really trouble.
No, I'll give you a fate for always seek the interests of the people of White Sea, because I mean it was that confrontation of Cantarius, right? You intimidated him.
That's true.
Away, right?
That's true. That's true. Because now where there's bad blood between us, where there really wasn't before.
Yeah.
So that's true. Traits: honored, aggressive, claustrophobic, mark privilege, tough, branded slave, iron will.
Yeah, I don't think so with the other stuff. Okay, Siegfried. And also, Connor and David, if you want to look real quick at your beliefs and just maybe think about what next time might be, because I know Cantarius, you're probably gonna have a belief right about like ending Ayrees, right? So, just so we have this set in stone for next time. Siegfried.
My soul isn't yet powerful enough. I will find another way to source my power, or find another source for my powers. I'm working towards that. The one with my old friend beckons me. I'll heed the call. I'm working towards that.
I don't think that one really came up, because if the first one happened, then the second one didn't necessarily, right? Because your old friend did not beckon you.
In my mind, he is.
Oh, wait. No, that is true, because we had the whole thing about you being in a coma and like having weird like demon vision things. Yeah, you can take it for that.
Right. I mean, didn't he already get bonosuses for being in a coma?
Well,
none of the rest of us got fate and stuff for what we were
corruption.
doing while we were. Oh, that's true.
Right. That's the problem. Is that
okay?
They have seen nothing yet. I will show them what Siegfried can do.
You're working on it. Yeah. You're setting yourself up for that.
Yeah, and neither of my instincts really did anything this time. I mean, I
think you should get a fate for if there's a question, answer it. Right? Because like. That spawned the entire conversation, and this does not have to get you into trouble. It can also be points the narrative in an interesting way, right? Like that conversation with Cantarius aimed everything in a completely different direction, right? And so he asked you a question: "Hey, what's the where's the power source, right? Where can I find power?" And you're like, "Well, I have an answer to that question." Yeah.
And now Ulrich doesn't particularly like Cantarius.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm getting other people in trouble. I love it.
This whole campaign has just been like, now I don't like you or you, and now he doesn't like you, and now he kind of doesn't like you. Now he hates you.
Hey, everyone loves Siegfried. Come on.
There has been a couple of occasions where people have started liking each other instead of not liking each other. Caspian and Cantarius, and Luduetta and Siegfried. Those are things.
Yeah. So Caspian and Cantarius, I don't know how long that's gonna last based on plans that are.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's go through the other minor stuff. So Jared, take a fate point for humor. Siegfried had some hilarious moments this session. Let's look at the other stuff, and I'll fill in Theo's stuff too. That's spending Artha. Where's?
Holy cow! This is like Alphonse level of Artha I'm getting.
I know, right? Jared, I'm always impressed by how good you are at gaming Artha in this game, and like setting up beliefs so that you will gain fate or or persona in a session.
I mean, it's not gaming. That's what you're supposed to do.
No, of course, but that's why it's gaming, right? Because this is a game.
That's the thing about Burning Wheel is it's the most jaded RPG I've ever played, where it's like. I already know players are terrible people and that they're going to break in game and metagame, so I'm going to build a game about that. Yeah. And that's literally the point. You're supposed to metagame and like...
But all the metagaming leads to story, which is awesome.
Right, yeah. That's the point. That's the reason he made metagaming basically exclusively being bad things for your characters. Screwing your character over is how you metagame in this game, and that's what makes it.
Did anyone have a right skill at the right time? I feel like Siegfried should get that for obscure history.
Oh, I'll take it.
I paid for everyone to live. Does that count?
I think it counts.
You guys okay with that? Nominating Caspian for resources?
Do it.
Sure. Yeah.
You made sure everybody had money to live in this session.
Sweet.
Sure, yeah. Embodiment, really good or distinctive role playing. Any nominations for that you can think of? I think I'll nominate Cantarius for that. I think like
Yeah, I think I agree.
right the moment with, and this might be Moldbreaker, I guess, either. But
That's true.
one of those, right, for that whole scene with Cantarius being like, all right, it's time. It's time to fight this out.
Throw down the gauntlet. Let's go.
Yeah. I don't think
MVP would be Caspian then, being the crucial element of success.
Well, I feel like
Why
if
is
you
that?
got right
Because
skill,
we
right
all
time,
didn't starve.
Well, one's fate and one's persona.
Yeah, I
so.
think right skill,
Right.
right time is much more
Okay.
appropriate for that. Yeah, I think that's probably good for those. Cool. Well, yeah, I'm definitely interested in
will
seeing where
defeating-
the deeds points are going to end up in this.
Yeah. Will defeating Ayrees accomplish a goal bigger than me
Mm,
and uniting my people?
probably. Right, so you're aiming for a deeds point by defeating him
Right.
next session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think right,
Becoming a golden god count as a deeds point.
I don't know that it's any bigger
I
than
don't-
you so much as making you bigger.
yeah.
But-
See, that's the
yeah, but
problem,
that-
right? It's
that-
not a change. It's not a change
Affects
for your
everybody
character.
else.
It's a different kind of change.
Well, no, but I mean, unifying the Crow Inquisitors isn't a change for Cantarius. It's just a goal that affects more than him.
no,
And
no,
becoming a god would affect more than just me.
no. But the thing
the
with
way he's
Cantarius' thing,
it's the way he's approaching it.
It's the way he's approaching it, right? He's been adamant that violence is not the answer this entire season, and now he's suddenly
Oh, I see
decided
what
violence is the answer. Sometimes
Right, yeah.
violence, you have to use violence to solve these problems.
Because now he knows Dewey.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Oh,
Oh man, that is.
I don't get it. Sorry.
It's the stupid.
You don't know Dewey.
Yeah.
Spit on
Do
him.
not pass
Oh, all
That
right,
stupid
never
meme.
mind. Yep, I gotcha. All right.
But okay, so the way the deeds points are written out, David, is that like concocting a plan and accomplishing it doesn't give you a deeds point, but
No, I know. Yeah.
doing something greater than yourself or that conflicts with like your beliefs and instincts and stuff.
Right.
does.
Well, and the reason I said that was because Connor mentioned greater than myself, or maybe you did. One of the two did.
I did.
So that's why.
Right, and
yeah.
it's just
That's
the
why I was
idea, right?
confused.
It's greater than yourself in an unselfish way is the point,
Right.
not.
So
right?
if you
It's
went
hitching yourself
and
to a cause that transforms the setting.
Right.
like-
that doesn't necessarily sound unselfish to me, but that doesn't matter. It's
so if
fine.
Caspian went and caused, say Ulrich to ascend to be a golden god instead of himself, giving up on his dream to give Ulrich the power to
Right.
save everybody from anything ever, then that would be a deeds point for Caspian.
That would
And I do
count
think that
as the second aspect of that, but the first aspect, like if I became
Right,
king of the
that's what
world,
I'm-
that changes the setting pretty.
yeah, and I
drastically,
think
right?
it's
That's
not
beyond
necessarily the main problem is that has been Caspian's goal basically from the beginning is to do the
Right.
golden god thing, but so
Yeah.
that's why that wouldn't give you the thing. But I personally think that you are angling for a deeds point with become dictator of the entire region, because that was not your goal originally, right? Your goal was to
Right, yeah.
make the town successful, get money, right? It was a very like
Yeah.
unambitious goal. But now you've changed your tune, and because of the things that have happened in game, you're angling towards dictator of the region,
Right.
and that is
Yeah,
a much
basically
bigger
it went
thing.
from I want to rule the world in 10,000 years as a golden god to I want to rule the world now as a golden god.
right.
He
Yeah,
thinks
no,
small.
and I think
Warlord.
that's definitely an angle that can earn you a deeds point.
Yeah.
As for Ulrich, like I'm trying, because I'm curious as to like what the angle for deeds points are for each of these characters right now.
I can see a couple of paths for me
Yeah,
to
I
take at
definitely
this
can.
point.
It's just a matter of like, yeah, you're not angling towards any of them specifically.
I mean, honestly,
Part of
I
it
feel
is
like,
part of it is that the path that I had laid out for where I wanted to go sort of fell apart on
Right.
me, and things are spinning in a different direction. So I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to sit down and think before the session next week and have an idea of where I want to go in.
Yeah, and I think Ulrich's main motivation of protecting the town is probably still central to Ulrich's like goals and behavior, right? And it's just a matter of like how you're responding to the threats that the town is facing, and what you view as protecting the town, right? Whether or not protecting the town is doing bad things for the good of the people because it's for their own good, right? Or like self-sacrificially doing everything in your power to make sure you do the right thing for these people, right?
I feel like he's sort of already made the transition. Not like he's probably some achievement he has to make before this counts as a D point, but he started out as the brooding bodyguard who didn't care about politics, and now he's like, all right, now this is actually a thing that's important, and like I need to have responsibility that I need to like undertake. I feel like he's already made that change as a character, and now I feel like he just needs to cement it. And honestly, I feel like that.
Right, and like it's the moment where he strikes you down because he knows that's the right thing for Whitesea, or he goes and sacrifices himself to fight the demon. Those sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
It's the big decision moment, not the small decision moments.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like you've already made the character change. Now I feel like it's the that's entirely
meta, because I built the character without really expecting to be caught up in politics. So when politics was the thing, I just sort of was like, we'll reorient this and
But I mean that's fine. It still happened in the
narratively retcon some things and it'll work fine.
Yeah. I mean,
so if I do this and I defeat Ayrees and then I turn on my
on the strong
no violence thing again and just kill Caspian and take the land over for myself, would that be 2 D points?
Very possibly, right?
Wouldn't that be the same?
Well, so this is the thing, right? There are two big actions that can come from this next session. If Cantarius kills Ayrees and then uses violence to force the other strong to come back into the Crow Inquisitors, that's 1 D point.
Right.
If he also goes even farther than that, right, and then just kills you and becomes the leader of the town through violence, I think that might be another D's point.
But isn't that the same change?
No, because he goes from the scope of it just being I want my people together,
right, to
I want your people as well.
It will really depend on
takes him from a unifier to a conqueror.
I mean,
turns him from Lincoln to Caesar.
The internal character change there is all right. Screw it, violence is the answer, and that would be the same. I mean, it came here as violence being the intention initially, anyway.
Right, and I think the reason that there are 2 different D points there is because one of them is character change, and the other is transform the setting. Right. Him killing you and becoming the leader of Whitesea is a transformation of the setting.
Didn't we just establish that's not enough? Because that was his goal the whole time.
No, his goal the whole time was just to end you because you were unjust. He didn't want to rule Whitesea.
So that was the problem.
Well, no,
so that's what I'm
saying. If he rolls in
it's
and
not
kills
that
me,
it's not that he kills you. It's that if he becomes the new dictator of the town. Right.
No, I see.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
That wasn't what it sounded like.
Sorry. And a lot of it will depend on the execution of these things, right? Like how it kind of shakes down in play. If it ends up making complete sense that there's a narrative link between this whole thing with Ayrees, and then it just perfectly lines up where you're like, I'm gonna kill Caspian.
I wasn't thinking about all of these things. I was just trying to figure out how I could get 2 D points.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I was thinking of. I was thinking about story as much.
Yeah.
What's
Siegfried's angle for a D's point? What do you think?
I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like you've had a pretty consistent goal.
They're pretty consistent,
right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a goal, but I mean, is it?
I mean, your goal has basically been to get power, right? To make yourself better.
I mean, I feel like actually going through with making me into a golden god would be that, because I don't think you've intended to do that at any point, right? Like, I don't get that impression, because if your point is to make you more powerful, not turn me into a god, right?
It's not necessarily power per se. It's more knowledge.
Well,
but knowledge is power.
Yeah.
But
I think for Siegfried, it will come down to a clear deeds point route I can see for him is especially with the last session, this is kind of angled up to be Siegfried might end up getting destroyed by his own power, by his own quest for knowledge, and his deeds point would be he realizes that he's gone too far and tries to stop it, right?
Oh,
That would
yeah,
be an
like-
obvious
He
Deeds
needs
point.
to go a lot further to realize.
So
No,
taking
no,
the
for
lid
sure.
out, so taking the lid off of the sewers and letting the demon out,
Right?
and then going
would,
oh snap and
Oh,
well, that's
I'm not
definitely
fighting
gonna
it
happen,
to put
right?
it. Yeah,
Siegfried would
going,
not stop before that point,
Mhm.
but that might be the point that he realizes that he's
Right.
gone too far.
the deeds point comes when he goes oh snap, fights and self-sacrificially defeats the demon at the cost of his own power and or life
Exactly. Yeah.
in
Of course,
order
these
to
points
save the
start to get,
people
like, good
around
if you're
him.
dead, so.
So
Okay.
maybe just his magic powers then.
We
Yeah.
should end here though.
Either
Yeah,
that
no, for
or
sure.
I sacrifice like my pursuit of knowledge and power
Right.
in order for somebody else. But,
Take
I
my
mean,
memories.
at this point, I don't think he cares enough about anyone yet.
Yeah.
It could get there. It could get there.
I
Not a
imprison you
complete-
with my memories.
Yeah. So now I need to set up a countdown clock for the demon underneath White Sea. So that's a thing.
Yeah.
What's so awesome, Jared, is that you just like randomly came up with this session, and threw me a curveball, but like it ends up working perfectly into the larger cosmological arc that I have for Crow Inquisitors. So thanks.
Okay.
Yep. Well, this was going to be about small-scale politics. Not anymore, but it's been fun.
No, but that's the thing, right? Like it's still ultimately about
yeah, I'm
the
just
small scale
kidding.
politics of this region.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
But there's also just a demon. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, right? Like the first and second seasons were about small scale things, or at
Right,
least
yeah.
you know, local things, right? So like first season was
Yeah.
about hunting down heretics, but there was also this cosmological thing happening, and the second season was about toppling the church, but it was also about there's some cosmological.
It's like Game of
things
Thrones.
happening.
A bunch of interesting political things happen, and then zombies, and nothing else matters.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm definitely interested in seeing where this season kind of ends up, and what the next season will look like, because like it's gonna be very different. Like, because again, there's gonna be a demon that's probably gonna end up being let loose. That's gonna transform the setting a bit, I think. Unless,
a little bit, yeah.
yeah.
And depending on how this ends up, I might need a new character.
I mean, you're
Well,
probably
chances
I
are
think
you'll
actually
probably-
a lot of us are in dire risk
Yeah.
of needing a new character.
and that's the thing,
Are
right?
we
like
in-
Alphonse is
Yep,
still
sorry.
there, right?
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say, are we intending to maybe go back to Dylan and Alphonse as characters?
that's what I'm kind of
for the
thinking.
next season?
Okay. It really depends on where it falls here.
Yeah.
Because it has to make sense, right? Like we're not just gonna be like, all right, Dylan and Alphonse are back.
I'm
randomly for
only
no
like
reason.
2 deeds points away from White Sword, so I'm just if I can get White Sword and Dylan, I will have completed my goal in Burning Wheel. Like I can die happy, not really, but you know what I mean. Like that's what I want to do in this game is get
No,
a,
for sure,
a character with a White Sword.
And what's awesome about Burning
Yeah.
Wheel as a system, right, is it's such a long form game. So those sorts of payoffs are what this game is about, where you
Right.
finally get White Sword. You're like,
Yeah.
yes.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean
Still
that moment
takes
with
too long.
with Dylan temporarily getting White Sword
Yeah.
was like
Oh,
one of
that
the best
was-
moments in the entire game, right?
Yeah,
So...
but to be fair, that was only impressive because I also had like 300 people with me.
No, but it was
and
so
I got
perfect,
to
right?
double
Yeah,
those
no,
two,
absolutely.
But yeah, it's great.
So, as Alphonse,
Mhm.
if I white shade will, that won't make all of my will stuff
It
white
won't
as well.
make any of this
No.
the current skills that you have shaded, but it will any future skills.
Okay. Gotcha.
Is there a mechanism for forgetting skills?
I guess if you got amnesia,
I
maybe.
don't think that's a mechanism, but we could do
It's
that.
not a mechanism, but we could do it.
Yeah. Jeez.
All right, yeah.
Heaven help us if he decides to relearn seduction.
I don't know if I want to because it's at 7 right now.
Yeah, right.
Oh, so
Oh man.
but yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing like where the end of the season ends up and where, like specifically where Cantarius and the Crow Inquisitors are going to end up, because that's going to be. I mean, we've kind of focused the game around them because of the name of the show. And so it'll be interesting to see where they end up and whether or not it makes sense for Dylan and Alphonse to come back to that.
Cantarius might
Paradigm.
die.
Cantarius might die.
Cantarius might get killed by Ayrees.
Oh, that's
Well,
actually
then-
a really fair point.
You know,
I
the
didn't
really
think about that.
convenient thing is that if you have Persona, you can't die, so it's okay.
That's true. You can never, but you could also just choose to die if you want.
But I could
Right,
also
yeah.
spend all my persona on the fight, thinking I might have.
Well, that would be a bad idea, and you shouldn't do that. Also, I'm considering maybe poisoning Ayrees before he fights, so it's cool.
I was half considering doing what your wife did and just poison his drink during that, but I'm also
Right.
Siegfried is also very curious to see where this goes. So
Well, okay, I have a quick question.
I was expecting him to just be garroted by one of your assassin wives halfway through his speech about how he killed Iroh.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna see if I can just let Cantarius do this for me.
Right, and that's the thing. The best option here is for Caspian to just let this play out,
Right.
and Cantarius kills Ayrees.
My
right?
original concept with Caspian was that he lets everyone else do stuff so they look bad and it benefits him. And yeah,
that would work out really perfectly for you.
I have a question about the magic.
Sure.
The infinitely useful and somehow still don't remember her name. Nagi. Nagi. She can heal people. Can she do the opposite? Isn't that the same magic? Can she like drain strength?
Yeah, she
you
doesn't
can
have
harm-
the physical
yeah.
discipline. Yeah, she has the essential discipline, which
Right.
means she can manipulates life energy. So yes, she
Okay.
can indeed.
So,
Because she has
what
a
is her
really good. Well, no, those are
method?
2 different skills technically. So maybe she doesn't. I can burn her up as a full character
Okay.
between
mean.
this session and next session.
Okay.
If you give her sap
Yeah.
against,
So my
you
question is
pretty much guarantee your investment there.
Yeah. What's the method that she uses?
Oh, power source. She's
Yeah.
a favored. Her goddess is
Praise.
Fereshte.
Okay.
Like Theo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh my goodness.
No, you did. We talked about it last time.
No, I meant she probably doesn't like me very much because I don't like fresh shit very much.
Yeah.
Shocker that fresh shit doesn't.
She prays for you every night, and she's like, "Oh, please, fresh day,
Yeah.
save my husband's soul."
She's gonna really like it when I burn down that temple. Anyways,
Guys, what's gonna happen is both Jared's character, Siegfried, and Caspian's wife are both gonna help me win the fight, and then people are gonna find out, and then I'm gonna lose all of the people.
that'd be
And stop
terrible.
eating my fault.
Wow.
Oh man. So can she do
And
that
it's
from a
pretty-
distance?
Exactly what happened in the last season. Is Cantarius did everything right, nothing
Yeah.
wrong, and another PC screws it up for him.
Yeah,
I wonder who that was.
she could. The
The
main
other
problem
directors
is
instead of the other-
Don't worry, I'm not gunning for you.
the main problem is the essential
I'm not
discipline
on
has
your
already
team.
been described as being very visible. So literally green wisps of energy will come off of him. If she does this, she could probably make a roll to try to mitigate that.
Right.
But yeah,
Now, okay, could she do that before the fight, where he might not notice and other people aren't
Yeah.
around, and then
sure. Yeah.
have it sustain
sure.
that? Okay.
I think the mechanics would basically work. She just gives him a wound, right? And so he'll get minus dice.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because if she could be like, if he's by
I'm just
himself,
gonna
she
give
could
you
sneak in and-
appendix pain today.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Right. Then yeah.
What's going to be interesting, right, is that Ayrees is probably going to have people on his side who might also do something similar. It's entirely possible. I'm going to have to look at all the NPCs that he has available to him and what their motivations are and see if he has any access to anything like that. Because I mean, I'm not even sure at this point whether or not Ayrees would want to fight fair, whether or not that's he's super we have to fight fair, or whether it's just
Right.
win at any cost. I'll have to look at Ayrees' beliefs and instincts and traits again and see what.
Yeah.
I feel like the latter sounds more believable from what we know of him, but
Yeah.
As
It
Well,
sounds like
the
he
thing,
might have
he
been
used
that
to
way
be-
at first, and then
Yeah,
changed
he
the
used to be
second one.
very honorable and all about that sort of stuff. But it definitely seems like his time in the North has changed him a bit, even from that. He does have the trait callous. That's a thing.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So Cantarius, if you beat him, you're gonna kill him, right? Right?
Why
it's Cantarius we're talking about here, Caspian.
That's why I'm asking.
What do you think?
Spoilers!
What
I
do
don't
you
know. That's why I'm asking you. I want to be
What
sure.
do you want me to do?
I want you to kill him, so I don't have to. All right.
Oh, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If you let him live, I'm gonna have to do it myself. Not myself. I'm gonna have to make somebody I pay do it, and it's gonna be messy. So I don't want to do that. I hope you win, but you gotta kill him. Maybe I'll make that deal with you. I'll be like, hey, I'll help you out, but you gotta kill him.
Oh man, I feel like if Caspian approached Cantarius is like, hey, I can give you steroids to win this fight. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's such
Cantarius
a
would
better
be into
idea. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I should just make him stronger, not make the other guy weaker. was stupid. Sorry, what did you say?
I was gonna say, yeah, like I'm not sure how Cantarius would take that suggestion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you PEDs.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. Like,
Now
look,
go
I'm
out there and
invested
beat
in
his
this
brain
fight,
to a pulp.
Go win. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. That is our session of Burning Wheel. This was the 32nd episode.
32 is a lovely number.
32 is a good number.
2 to the power of 5.
Yeah.
I thought you meant that it lasted 30 seconds, and I'm like, I'm not really sure where you were, but that was not a 30-second episode.
Yeah, it's only 30 seconds, guys.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it is the 32nd is in numbers episode.
Nah, really?
Yeah, no, it turns out that is.
I really don't want to wait a week to.
I know, right? Like, you guys free tomorrow?
Yeah, right.
I get off work at 4.
I don't think that was a serious suggestion, but.
I have to swing
That
down.
was a suggestion for me.
So.
All right, we are out. Adios, everybody.